it's not as though you were even that great in college. You weren't the feature of your college team. That was Blake Corum. You weren't the feature player of your college team. That was a running-based offense. So I just think for a team that is built to win right now, like you built to win right now, and you're putting this much faith and this much pressure on a kid that ain't played no snaps and was hurt all last season, that's tough.
Because if they find out that he really has it, now we can go all in on the Super Bowl without the contract.
With the addition of Fries and Ryan Kelly, we're talking about an offensive line that'll be top 3, top 4 offensive line in the NFL. We know the perimeter players are top 3 in the NFL. We know the scheme and play caller is as good as it gets in the NFL. And with some of the additions defensively, I fully expect J.J. McCarthy to hit the ground running. I remember a young quarterback getting given the reins to go be the starter, being in this good of a situation.
Now, as you probably remember, the story of the 2024 NFL Draft was quarterbacks. 6 were taken in the first round, and by the end of the regular season, all of them have become bona fide starters for their team. All for except one, J.J. McCarthy. After missing his entire rookie season, McCarthy is now set to return to lead one of the NFL's most loaded offenses. Add in the fact too that the team is coming off of a disappointing wildcard round exit, the pressure is on. But with head coach Kevin O'Connell in his corner, life is looking good for the sophomore quarterback. And because of many more reasons we'll go over in this video today, is exactly why the J.J. McCarthy experiment will pay off for the Vikings in 2025. Now, stepping in for a resurgent Sam Darnold may sound like a tall task for the second-year quarterback. After all, keeping a top 10 scoring offense running smoothly isn't exactly a walk in the park, but J.J. McCarthy has been handling that kind of pressure for most of his footballing life. Even if we go back all the way to high school, he led his high school team to back-to-back state championship appearances, securing the title as a sophomore, and after his senior season in Illinois was canceled due to COVID, he transferred to IMG Academy in South Florida, where it's just about the biggest stage there in the high school game. And the Michigan commit didn't disappoint there either, leading IMG to an undefeated season and a national title. The 5-star recruit then arrived in Ann Arbor with plenty of excitement around his potential contributors, and once again immediately got to work interceptions in a campaign where Michigan snapped a 10-year losing streak to Ohio State and made their first college football playoffs. He then returned as a sophomore and absolutely dominated as a starter. He led the Wolverines to an undefeated season, a rout of honors. Although he did struggle in a shootout against TCU in the college football playoff semifinal, throwing a pair of interceptions to go with a pair of touchdowns, McCarthy was set to explode in his junior campaign under Jim Harbaugh. And after an undefeated season of 2,991 yards for 22 more touchdowns and only 4 interceptions, it saw McCarthy be named the Big Ten Quarterback of the Year, but many people had contributed Michigan's success to the run game. And now approaching the peak of his powers, McCarthy had the chance to show out and finally win a playoff game. Under the brightest of lights, McCarthy threw 3 touchdowns for 221 yards against none other than Nick Saban's Alabama to send the Wolverines to the national championship, winning the coveted Rose Bowl MVP award in the process. But that's the thing about us sports fans, is we tend to have short memories sometime. Because when Michigan dominated in the national championship game by running the ball down Washington's throat, nobody was particularly interested in J.J. McCarthy. He was a glorified game manager to many, with too small of a sample size to make any legitimate assessment on. Nevertheless, though, the winningest starting quarterback in Division I history felt that his stock was high enough and declared for a stacked 2024 draft. The first 3 quarterbacks to go were fairly set in stone also, as Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May led the pack, but beyond them, each of the remaining first-round caliber talents had major question marks. For McCarthy, it was his limited film in Michigan's run-heavy offense, with fewer eye-catching plays than the other top prospects in the class. He had the fewest passing attempts by far, but had demonstrated exceptional efficiency whenever called upon. His tape alone couldn't tell the story of the type of teammate and leader he was though, and as the youngest signal caller available, the most moldable pro-ready quarterback as well. It also helped that he won everywhere he went, proving he wasn't just a product of the system, but was willing to do whatever the team needed to win. A strong pro day performance also did help, causing Jim Harbaugh to proclaim McCarthy that was not only the best in the class, but the best quarterback in Michigan history.
The workout JJ had, I've been to a lot of pro day workouts and watch quarterbacks throw. That was the best I've ever seen a quarterback do at a pro day. I mean,
so with Michael Penix gone to the Falcons, the Vikings traded up from 11th to 10th overall in order to select JJ McCarthy out of Michigan. And I mean, really, it is tough to imagine a better landing spot for a quarterback than to land in the arms of just Kevin O'Connell, pretty much, who has been a quarterback guru, or at least what we've seen for the past couple of years. Kevin O'Connell eked every ounce out of quality play from Kirk Cousins, conducting one of the NFC's most prolific offenses of the past few seasons. And then with Cousins on his way out, free agent signing Sam Darnold stepped in as the veteran presence to ease JJ McCarthy's transition into the big leagues. Add in the fact too that they have a formidable receiving core spearheaded by Justin Jefferson, and it would give the rookie plenty to aim at. He showed significant promise, legitimately competing with Darnold for the starting spot in training camp as well. The Vikings head coach had spoke glowingly about McCarthy's hunger and character, with an appetite for learning and a love for football that guaranteed a firm commitment to mastering the offense that he was trying to learn. Like, I mean, it had been planned out to perfection, and O'Connell was pretty adamant too that JJ McCarthy would only see the field when he was absolutely ready, a guarantee that he could afford to make with Sam Darnold holding things down in the interim. Unfortunately, though, that master plan they had pretty much got blown up in the first preseason game. McCarthy's debut was absolutely electric, completing 11 of 17 passes for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns against 1 interception for a passer rating of 116.8. He also showed off his severely underrated mobility and the elite pocket awareness that also went under the radar. The rookie had Vikings fans excited for the season to come, and it was all going to plan apart from the rookie's complaints of discomfort in his right knee. Well, it turned out that on August 11th would be the last time JJ McCarthy suited up in the purple and gold in 2024, having suffered a torn meniscus which required surgery and would keep him out for the entirety of his rookie campaign. It was a huge blow for Minnesota, who now had no choice but to place all of their faith in the wild card that was Sam Darnold. Luckily though, the Vikings already had an elite roster, winning 14 games as Darnold was named to his first Pro Bowl in a career-best season. Everything seemed to have fallen into place for the Vikings in 2024, despite a bit of a late season tumble epitomized by the beatdown in Detroit, where Darnold looked like a non-factor. Things then only got worse for Minnesota as they were humbled by Kevin O'Connell's mentor in LA, ending their postseason far earlier than they had anticipated. And as we all know too, Darnold then did hit the free agent market, signing a 3-year mega deal with the Seahawks, but there was no panic amongst Vikings fans. And well, that's mainly because a lot of them have so much faith in their coaching staff that they know what they're going to do with JJ McCarthy now. You see, Sam Darnold was the most recent addition to a long line of quarterbacks that Kevin O'Connell has got the absolute most out of at the NFL level. Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, and now Darnold have all flourished under the former quarterback, as it seems that whoever is taking snaps under center in his offense will thrive. So considering the raw tools, consistent production, and competitive nature of a guy like JJ McCarthy, it's hard to imagine him falling completely flat come the start of the 2025 season. And I mean, truthfully, apart from just JJ McCarthy succeeding in year 2 under Kevin O'Connell, there seem to be just a couple more reasons that I want to go over that why he's primed for a breakout in 2025. Like if we go back to the days at Michigan, although the offense was run heavy, it leaned on play action in a way that aligns with Minnesota's ambitions for the 2025 season. O'Connell has openly stated that he wants a stronger running game, which will certainly be helped by the offensive additions of Jordan Mason in the backfield, as well as substantial help in the trenches. After dropping $88 million over 5 years on right guard Willie Fries, the Vikings signed 4-time Pro Bowl center Ryan Kelly on a 2-year deal worth $18 million. With both of those guys under contract too, the Colts have consistently had one of the AFC's best O-lines in the past few seasons, allowing Jonathan Taylor to flourish when healthy. So if they can replicate that level of production on the Vikings, the NFC might have to watch out. And they weren't done there either. The Minnesota front office then spent their first-round pick on Donovan Jackson, reinforcing the left guard position. Not only will all of these additions significantly improve the O-line from where it was last year, but they should enable the run game spearheaded by Aaron Jones to shoulder more of the offensive burden for McCarthy as he transitions into his new role as a full-time starter. The second-year quarterback will of course benefit from the added protection, but McCarthy's Michigan tape demonstrates his ability to make plays in and out of structure, something that may come in handy as he settles into the speed and intensity of the NFL. And I think truthfully what this level of investment of the offensive line does for the Vikings as well is, well, it gives the message of that there's no more rumors going around. JJ McCarthy is the future of the Vikings. And that's the crazy part too, is we've only talked about the offensive line. Now we're about to go over the weapons that he gets to use, because truthfully, just the weapons he has at his disposal are absolutely ridiculous on the offensive side of the ball. Aaron Jones enjoyed a fantastic debut season with the Vikings in 2024 with over 1,100 yards on the ground to go with 400 through the air. However, the real showstopper in this offense is unquestionably Justin Jefferson, whose unreal production across his 5 seasons in the league with various quarterbacks under center should make him a reliable target for McCarthy. If the Vikings can marry Jefferson's Hall of Fame talent with a young and hungry quarterback, this duo will give the NFC North defenses nightmares for years to come. Jordan Addison, who is a brilliant wide receiver too, also on a rookie contract, whose ability to create separation and win on short and intermediate routes should provide another valuable option to McCarthy at all times. With Ty Felton arriving in the draft to help out in similar areas on the field, the Vikings have clearly gone all out to help McCarthy feel comfortable in his first full year as a starter too. They also have one of the best tight ends in the league with TJ Hawkinson, contributing plenty as a blocker while remaining a dynamic receiver. Hawkinson could easily be McCarthy's safety valve when needed and will be looking to bounce back after an injury-riddled 2024 season. And truthfully, if I can just try to put this into perspective for you, they took a quarterback, basically, they took Sam Darnold, that group of players. They took Sam Darnold, who I'm going to read his stats right now. His best season yielded over just 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns. They turned him into a phenom with over 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns last year, and somehow got him paid a $100 million contract. Like, if they can do that with Darnold, who is an inferior athlete to what JJ McCarthy is, let's just imagine what they're going to be able to do with JJ McCarthy now. Like, it's going to be absolutely crazy. And now, yes, of course, I know McCarthy, hasn't played a legitimate snap of NFL football. He's played one preseason game. And also the fact that, Michigan was a pretty powerhouse school when he was there. But that all aside, though, I think the just ceiling for McCarthy is absolutely there. And this Vikings team, especially on offense, is very scary to look at. With that being said, though, too, I definitely don't want to take away from what McCarthy has done. Like, the dude has been able to win at every single level he's been competing at. He had to leave his family behind and adhere to strict safety protocols at IMG, navigating those big life changes through his commitment to meditation. He carried that mental fortitude with him at Michigan, where he could be often seen meditating at the goalpost, and McCarthy's just presence of mind meant that he was seldomly overwhelmed by a big occasion and was able to routinely execute whatever he was asked to and lead his team to victory. It's precisely this mindfulness that drew Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings organization to the quarterback in the first place, demonstrating wisdom, patience, and leadership far beyond his 21 years of age. Spending the past year learning the game at a higher level will only serve to hone those qualities while strengthening any deficiencies, leaving him poised to make a huge impact in 2025. A truly elite signal caller to lead O'Connell's quarterback-friendly offense could finally be the missing piece to get Minnesota their first playoff win in 6 years and potentially earn the city of the Lombardi, which has eluded them for so long.
All right, and we are back for overtime. I'm going to try and not yell in this mic so that way y'all don't have to hear me. I'm going to lean back too, so that way it's Sunday. I'm basically recording this while basically you guys are going to see this in like an hour and I'm recording it. So happy Sunday to you. We are one day closer to football, and more importantly, we are in overtime. So I'm going to start the clock. We're going to talk about the Vikings today, and personally for me, one of the scariest teams this year that I think is going to challenge the Philadelphia Eagles for the NFC. I think just truthfully, the Vikings, if JJ McCarthy can play how well he did in the preseason last year, and yes, I know everybody's going to say it was the preseason, this and that. Oh, I don't have a hat on. I just realized that. Besides the point, I think the Vikings are going to be in good hands with JJ McCarthy. Personally, for me, I always thought JJ McCarthy was going to end up being the best quarterback from this draft class. Obviously, we never found out because, well, Jaden Daniels ended up doing what he did last year and put my foot in my mouth. But who knows? Maybe JJ McCarthy can help me redeem myself and hopefully, play well this year. Otherwise, I'm going to look like a big dummy. But let's talk about this real quick about what I was talking about in the video. So basically, as I was explaining in the video, and I talked about towards the end of the video, if you made it there, and obviously if you're here, comment overtime, because you are a true one of the KRICH Productions community. Always going to be posting in our Discord and everything. Going to get that all going and all that stuff. So again, comment overtime. But like I was saying, is just the offensive firepower that this team has, and that I even had at the beginning of the video. Will Fries, whatever it is, Ryan Kelly, like that offensive line, they invested in protecting JJ McCarthy. They made sure that they said, we're not going and getting Aaron Rodgers. We are making sure that you are protected and that you are going to feel good and be able to get the ball to your weapons in Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison, and Justin Jefferson, and TJ Hawkinson. On offense, it feels like this team doesn't have a weakness besides the inexperience at the quarterback position. I can't think of any other reason why they can't score 21 points a game. Their pass protection, just everything looks so good. And I mean, like I was saying, is just, I'm looking at my notes over here on the computer screen too. So if I'm looking away, that's why. Don't get mad at me, as we have had about the names and all that. So I think just with the early momentum, he's at OTAs. That's a good sign. And just, there's been a lot of reports of just, again, he's doing well in OTAs and all the training camp stuff. And that's what you want to see out of the guy that didn't play a snap of football last year besides that preseason game. Because I think that's the big thing is, I'm in the camp of the more you play, the better you'll be. So I think that's a good thing too, is that even though he didn't get to play at all last year, he got to watch Sam Darnold. And hopefully what we're going to see now is if JJ McCarthy was actually, putting in that work, even though he was injured, watching film, all that stuff. So that's also a good thing. The other thing that's going to help more so in the future too is that this team, I'm looking at it right here, they have the league's 6th most salary cap space available still. And I mean, they bolstered it with smart free agent signings like Jonathan Allen, all those guys they got on the defensive side of the ball. Their defense is going to be top 10 also. This team has the chance and potential to be top 10 on offense and on defense, easily when I say that. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. What's the strongest point for this team? Is it their offense or is it their defense? Because truthfully, I just don't see a weak point on this team, like I was saying. Truthfully, for me, I think the offense is much stronger than the defense, but they're just as good too, So again, I think the only concern you can have about the Vikings right now is the inexperience at the quarterback position. One, with that just being, they are, as crazy as it sounds too, they're just kind of inexperienced all over offensively and defensively. Not Jordan Jefferson, that's his brother. Justin Jefferson has played in a few playoff games and everything, but it's tough too when you don't have other experienced players that have played in multiple playoff games on the offensive side of the ball, I should be saying. Defensively, I think they do. But truthfully, the main reason I wanted to talk about and what I want to talk about in overtime is just the main reason or the real reasons of why I think JJ McCarthy is going to have a big 2025 year. And I've got them all bullet pointed here, so I'll look over at them. And personally for me, the dude has won everywhere. I don't care what you say about him being carried in college and all that. The dude still had to run the offense. He was living off the play action. And if you look at what Kevin O'Connell has said, they're going to try to run more play action this year. They signed Jordan Mason. They have Aaron Jones. They're going to try and make it his life easy. That's one thing I always say is when I see rookie quarterbacks or just younger quarterbacks, the team doesn't move them out of the pocket. They want them to stand in the pocket and throw the ball. And it's no, move them, roll them out. And I think with JJ McCarthy, they're going to be able to do that, no doubt. Now, another one too is just the preseason and OTAs been going well. That's what we want to see out of it. Next thing too is they have the built-in support systems. Again, great run game. The pass catchers are elite. It's not like he's not throwing to the best wide receiver in the league. He's got the best wide receiver in the league, and Jordan Addison's a pretty good number two also, along with TJ Hawkinson. The support system around him is absolutely phenomenal. Okay. So, and then obviously, I mean, the last and most important reason is you have the coach of the year in Kevin O'Connell, who is just a modern quarterback guru. And the dude knows what he's going to be doing with Kevin O'Connell knows what he's doing with any and every quarterback, which is exactly what we want to see out of a coach and a quarterback tandem when they work together. And I think he's going to be able to push JJ to where he needs to be successful in this offense. So Personally, for me, those are my thoughts. I personally think that the Vikings, they're structured to win right now. And if they're not going to win right now, they're going to be able to push for that. They have their Super Bowl window. If JJ McCarthy is average, like Caleb Williams average, they're going to be able to push for their Super Bowl window. And I think he's going to be above average. I think he's going to be more like a Jaden Daniels that we saw last year. So again, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about JJ McCarthy, about this Vikings team in general, because truthfully, they are one of the scariest teams in the NFL, I personally think, especially besides the Eagles and everything. So let me know in the comment section below. And as always, everybody say it with me. I'll catch y'all in the next one.